Okay, a follow-up video about the Heltec HT-SW02H spot welder, which is the same internal circuitry of the glitter 811H spot welder. They are identical internally, with just case cosmetics difference. I will use the 25 square millimeter cable that was used on the first video that I made about this welder. Then I use the original 50 square millimeters cable for a second video. It is double the cross section of the first cable, and now I have a third option, which is a custom made 75 square millimeters cable that I assembled, I made, and it is 50% larger than the original cable, cross section larger. Okay, let me explain an important detail. On the second video I used this type of tester, and the unit that was used was malfunctioning. It was discalibrated, and it was showing currents between 6,000 and 7,000 amps, and that was not a correct reading of the current. This spot welder with the original 50 square millimeters cable produces around 4,500 amps, as we will check now. Let's start with the 25 square millimeters cable. Another important information: this is the protection circuit that was originally part of the welder. It is made of, let me try to show here, SM-S815A. Here, SMS15A TVS diodes. These were used to protect the MOSFETs from induced voltage spikes. They are generated by the cables and the high current, but this PCI, this circuit, was badly designed and causing high frequency oscillations on the MOSFET's voltage. The amplitude of the oscillation on the end of the pulse, of the weld pulse, was greater than 20 volts before I changed this circuit. With the modified circuit that I will show here in a moment, this oscillation amplitude was reduced to, totally eliminated, only with the 75 square millimeters cable, that there is a less than 1 volt and with a small amount of time duration oscillation. This is oscillation with the 75 square millimeter cable isn't dangerous to the MOSFETs. With this original circuit, the peak voltage on the MOSFETs were larger than 30 volts. And this is a dangerous value because the MOSFETs used here have a spec of 30 volts maximum voltage for working voltage. This is the cause of the problems with this machine. Okay, let's start the tests with the 25 square millimeters cable. Okay. Let's do a test here. (3,531 amps), around 8 milliseconds of pulse duration, and let me show here. No, I will do like this. The peak voltage now is 7 volts, and there is no oscillation during the small peak voltage in the end of pulse. Here is the start of the welding pulse. The voltage on the capacitors goes lower, and in the end of pulse it has a tendency to produce a peak voltage, but here it is of only 7 volts, in contrast with the 30 volts that was produced with the original circuit. Okay, let's make the tests now with the 50 square millimeters cable. This is difficult to take off. Okay. Same test with the 50 millimeters cable. Okay. Let's see the current and the voltage on the MOSFETs. (4,488 amps), 8 millivolts. Let's see again the voltage reading. It is the same as in the first test, and let's do the 75 millimeters cable test. Okay. 75 square millimeters cable. It is a heavier cable, but it is flexible because I use this type of fabric cover, replacing the silicone cover original isolation of the cable. The silicone is much stiffer. Okay. Let's do the test again. Here. Okay. Now the peak current is 5,822. The same. It was 8.8, 8.9 milliseconds. Now it is 9.1 milliseconds. And here, as I mentioned, the peak voltage is slightly higher, 1 volt higher, and there is a briefly oscillation of after the peak voltage, but as we see, it has a small amplitude. Here it is around 1 volt. Okay. Let me show here the protection circuits that are now implemented. There are TVS diodes parallel to the cables, and again, let me focus here. Okay, TVS diodes parallel to the MOSFETs. Here is a varistor, and down is a capacitor and resistor that we call RC filter. These circuits are efficient, eliminating the problems that this spot welder originally have. Okay, next video that I will make is detailing this protection circuits and to show how to correct this welder factory malfunctioning.